Today we are going to identify whether a relation is a function or not. By definition, a relation is a function if your domain, which we know is my x values, do not repeat. So looking at this first set, my domain is 2, 5, 3, and 4. It does not repeat, so it is a function. In the second set, my domain is 2, -1, 3, and 2. Notice that my 2's repeat, so this is not a function. Looking at these graphs, we want to use what we call the vertical line test. That means if I were to draw a vertical line through the graph and it only crosses one time, it is a function. So all four of the graphs on the left are functions because when I draw a line through, it only crosses the graph one time. The graphs on the right are not a function because they cross more than one time. That one crosses twice. That crosses twice. And here, if I draw a line through these 2 points, it crosses twice, so they are not a function. I've left this third one for last, or this one over here for last, because this is a very important question that they will ask on almost every test, quiz, assessment that you take. A vertical line can never pass a vertical line test because it crosses an infinite amount of times. So it is important to remember that a vertical line is never a function. A mapping is a function if each point in the domain only goes to one point in the range. If you notice over here on the right, it is not a function because the 5 goes to 4 and it also goes to 8. Let's identify whether these are functions or not. This is a function because the values 1, 3, 5, and 7 in my x values do not repeat. This is not a function because the 2 repeats. By the vertical line test, it crosses one time, so this is a function. Vertical line test, this crosses 2 times, not a function. Vertical line test, this crosses one time, it is a function. Hopefully you recall, a vertical line will never pass a vertical line test because it crosses an infinite amount of times, so it is not a function. Not a function, it crosses twice. Function, it crosses once. And this one is not a function because right here, it crosses 2 times. Looking at my x values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, does not repeat, so it is a function. This is not a function because 6 goes to 2 different numbers. Now I'm going to do some examples. If you want to stop the video, these are just some more examples. Which of the following is a function? This first one is not a function because my 3 repeats. The second one is a function because nothing repeats. The third one is not a function because it is a function. Let me back up. To B, this is not a function. Hopefully you caught that because the -1 repeats. This one is a function because nothing repeats. And this last one is not a function because the -2 repeats. So C is a function. This next one says, what could be the fifth ordered pair in this function? So what could I put up here that would make it a function? That means it cannot have a 1 in the x. It cannot have a 3 in the x. It cannot have a 5 in the x. It cannot have a 7. So we could put 9, 8 up here, and it would be a function. Using the ordered pairs shown, create a relation containing 3 ordered pairs with a domain of -1, 2, and 4. Domain is my x, so I'm looking for one that has a -1 in the domain, has a 2 in the domain, and has a 4 in the domain. Which relation is a function? This is not a function because my x repeats. We know a vertical line will never be a function. This is not a function because my x repeats. This is a function.